The 3D printers are up and running and manufacturing again. And what are they manufacturing? Well, these could be things for next Christmas. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog number 345 for Monday, January the 15th, 2024, halfway through the month. Hard to believe. Yeah, time goes by really fast when you get to my age. Scary. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about what I've been working on. Now, these are things that I'll be talking about in much more detail on the Idiot Quilter, but this is just a little sneak peek. This you have seen before. I have finished the top. Right now, I have a working title called Scrappy Leaves, but really, does it look like leaves? I don't think so. So more about that tomorrow, and I'm asking you out there to give it a name. And again, I will say more about that tomorrow, but if you saw So Chatty on Friday, then you know what I'm talking about. So I'm very happy with this one. It's very colorful. And you know me, I love color. Now, I've started a new project as well. This is going to be a table runner. It's an in-the-hoop design. This is only part of it. I'm using some Australian fabrics that I've had in my stash for quite a while. I love Australian fabrics. And again, I'm going to say more about this in a little bit more detail tomorrow on Idiot Quilter. Okay, let me switch back to me, have some coffee. So, here's a question. What do you do when you're watching me? I mean, watching me is kind of boring, I think. Do you listen to me in the background? I do that with a lot of the YouTube creators that I follow on a regular basis. I have them on while I'm working in my sewing area. If I'm working on a project or something, and you know, I have them on screen. I can sort of watch them too if they're going to show something. But generally speaking, it's like having company while you're working. That's how I handle other people's YouTube channels. I'm wondering how you handle mine. Just out of curiosity, inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so let's talk about a YouTube channel this week. If you are a little bit afraid that maybe you're losing your memory, yeah, I'm afraid of that every day. I write lists. I make lists. You've heard me say that before. I'm a list maker. Because if I don't remember. And it is kind of scary. On a serious note, it is kind of scary when you get up there in age. You know, your memory's not what it used to be. And of course, anytime you turn on the TV, you're hearing about things about dementia, about Alzheimer's, all of those kind of diseases that are out there that affect the brain. And there's all kinds of things out there to keep your brain active, supposedly. The brain's a big organ, you can exercise it. I don't know if that's true or not, but YouTube has lots of things on it that will help you with that, and it can be fun as well. And so Walter and I came across this one night while we were channel surfing, I guess, through YouTube, and it's called, and I don't know if I can say it right, Detormentis. Detormentis? Yeah. Well, anyways, here's what I'm talking about. This week's YouTube channel is called Detormentis. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but whatever. If you like trivia, you will love this YouTube channel. It is trivia questions. It's a little, sort of a little quiz show in the privacy of your own home. It doesn't get broadcasted anywhere. Nobody has to know how intelligent or otherwise you are. But I just found it really, really interesting. So if you're looking for a little gameplay, something to relax you, but at the same time stimulate your mind, then you might want to try this out. So if you take a look at the videos that are here, you can see that it's run kind of like on like a standard quiz show kind of thing. They ask you a question, you get a selection of multiple choice answers, you pick the right one, you score a point, and at the end, this particular channel shows you where you fall in a fun way on the level of genius, or whatever. It's fun to play with friends. Walter and I will play this with each other as well. Yeah, it's just an amusing little game that, stimulates your imagination, stimulates your levels of intelligence, keep your brain going, especially as you get older. You want to do something like this that, you know, keeps the old brain moving. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, do check out Detormentis. So don't forget to check it out. See what I did there? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Keep my day job. I don't have a day job. Anyways, in the resource list below, you'll find the link for that. You'll also find a link for our usual Wednesday sew day, Stephanie and Stephen's sew day. Always on Wednesdays, starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. All are welcome. Come and go as you please. Having said that, though, I do have a pop-up sew day scheduled for this coming Saturday. That is January the 20th, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. All are welcome. Link is in the show notes below. It is a Zoom link. It is not a YouTube Live. There is no recording of it. I say that for those of you that have never been to one of my pop-up sew days before. And what do we do on a pop-up sew day? So, quilt, talk, eat, talk some more, support each other, show things off, whatever you want. Basically, it's a great little social day. So again, it's a come and go as you please, stay for the whole thing. It runs from 8 till about 5. And yeah, so those of you on my mailing list just got this morning, before I started recording this, you got an email with the link in it. But for those of you that aren't on the mailing list, and why are you not on the mailing list? You will find the link here in the show notes, and in all my productions that go up this week, it'll be there as well. Speaking of being on my mailing list, it's really easy. If you go to the About section, and there's a link for that in the show notes, you will find my email address and drop me a line. Give me your first and last name and the email address that you wish to be contacted at. I know some people have multiple email addresses, so give me the one that's you have most readily rented lips, most readily check. Put it that way, okay? And yeah, and don't worry, I don't have a business, so I'm not selling anything. The only time I send out an email en masse is like for the pop-up sew day, basically, and for my annual or semi-annual. Is it semi-annual if I have it twice a year retreat? More about spring retreat in a minute. Actually, there's not that much to tell you yet, but I need your help. So we'll talk about that in a moment. You'll also find links to my friends' YouTube channels, and you know that especially with Stephanie, she's very close to 20,000. What a milestone. Please, if you don't subscribe to Stephanie Stitches, check her out and do so. And a lot of you do come to our channels on a regular basis, but you've never hit the subscribe button. I hate begging for this, but it really does help, and it takes a second to do. You go beep, you got it. And of course, hit the bell, as they always say, so you might get notifications when we have a new video up. That's a hit and miss with YouTube, and that has nothing to do with us creators. That has everything to do with how YouTube is programmed. So there's also Shannon of Slay Arts. Again, she is trying to hit 1,000. She's getting very close, so please support her. And the same with Russ of Quiltmates World. He's trying to get to 1,000 as well, so please support them. They're people that are worthy of your support. They really are. Okay, that takes me, oh yes, and last week's video links, if you haven't seen them, they're there for you to enjoy. But you will find a couple of ones that don't appear every week in that list, and that's one for the Sewcial review, which is a new thing that I am doing with my friends Stephanie, Shannon, and Russ, and Walter's involved as well. Can't forget Walter. You keep reminding me of that. His fan club, By the way, Walter cannot make our pop-up sew day. It coincides with his in-person sew day with his sewing class people, where they're sewing garments. Okay, he's got a new shirt cut out too. I don't know if it's for him or for me, but yeah. So I'm sorry, Walter won't be here. You'll just have to put up with me. Boo-hoo. Uh, yeah. And let's see. Yeah, so there's a link to the social review. And as I said, Stephanie, Shannon, Russ, and Walter and I, we're going to get together once a month and just talk. Kind of like the View on TV or the Social for you Canadians in Ontario. We have that on a channel as well. We're just dishing on things. I don't know if that's the right term. I think dishing has a negative connotation, but we're just talking about various things. Now, we just had this one. If you haven't seen it, the link is here, as I said, where we talked about our plans for this coming year. And I don't know what I'm doing with these hands today. Suddenly, I'm talking with my hands. Put them down. Yeah, that took me off track. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the social. So we talked about our plans for this year, both personal and professional, but our next one will be on February the 14th, Valentine's Day, or as my friend Russ called it, single. I can't remember, but it spelled the word sad. Something about singles. Anyways, see what I mean about memory? I'm telling you. So that's on February the 14th, and that one will be on Stephanie's channel, and it happens at 7 p.m. Wednesday, February the 14th. So, if you're not expecting to be taken out for a lovely wining and dining evening, join us. And today at 10 o'clock, pretty much after this gets posted, we will have on all of our channels on, not on Russ's, but it'll be on Shannon's, it'll be on Stephanie's, it'll be here on mine, and it'll be on Sean, the guy who shows, the final video revealing our projects that you selected for us to do. That's the 4S Club Collab. So remember, you picked a pattern from a selection of 3. We all did the patterns that you selected for us. And then on this version, we're going to reveal our final products and talk about our trials, tribulations, and successes with each of those patterns as well. So that is available at 10 a.m. today, Monday, January the 15th, on any of our channels. Okay, that takes me to the frost report, the frosty cold report. And what I mean by that is temperature. Though the temperature has been weird across North America. Places that don't usually get really cold are getting really cold. Other places are kind of hot. Things are really wet. Things are really snowy. We here in Ontario have basically not had really severe cold weather or a lot of snow in the part I live in. I live in southern Ontario, right on Lake Ontario. So there's that effect. But today, look at that. It is minus 14 degrees Celsius. 14 degrees. Minus. That's below 0. 14 degrees. That is frosty. Do we have any snow in the forecast? Doesn't look like it. In fact, it doesn't look like we're going to have any kind of precipitation until a week from this Wednesday coming, and it's going to warm up. So you can see here, currently it's minus 14, but the high is supposed to be minus 9. But once you get past Wednesday, well, there's a couple of days where it warms up, still below 0. Saturday's going to be frosty, good day for sewing. Yeah, it doesn't really start to warm up until Tuesday. And it looks like Wednesday's got 45% chance of rain. The weather is weird. It really is. But this is warm, very warm compared to what they're experiencing in Western Canada. In Alberta and Saskatchewan, minus 45 degrees Celsius. Minus 45. Let me put that in perspective for those of you that are in Fahrenheit. Minus 45 is basically 30 below 0 Fahrenheit, I think. Let's see, you double. Minus 45 minus 45 is minus 90. 90 subtract. No. Something's not right there. You can't use that kind of math on that because that would put it at 60 below zero. And I don't think so. No, 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 no. Minus 95, minus 45, is minus 90. Okay, I'm going to have to look this up on a conversion chart, but because the math, quickie math thing is not working on it, but it's cold. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of brass monkeys out there just a screaming. I don't know if you know the reference, but I'm not going to explain it. But anyways, yeah. So, but it's January. It's Canada. We're supposed to be cold. Um, as much as I'm not a real fan of snow, we need snow here. I know you find that really strange thing to talk about, snow, wanting it, but we need the moisture. You know, that's our precipitation in the wintertime, and we need a lot of snow to, you know, get into the ground when the spring thaw comes. And yeah, we're going to have problems again with like forest fires, drought, that kind of thing. We need the precipitation. Makes you really wonder, is this all part of climate change, or is this just something on a bigger scale like, oh, ice age? I don't know. But anyways, the weather is weird. Yeah. And it seems we all talk about it too. I guess we have nothing else to talk about. So yeah, let's talk about the weather. Okay. So, and that takes me then right now to what's pissing me off. Well, you can be pissed off at the weather, but you can't do anything about the weather, right? I mean, that's Mother Nature. Maybe we've screwed Mother Nature over as well. I don't know. But we can't really do much about it. So put up and shut up. But another thing that's out of our control, and this is something I don't know how we fight back, but it's quality control when it comes to manufacturing of goods. Now, we talked a little bit about this yesterday on Stephen and Walter Live in reference to the Accquilt machine that I have for cutting fabric and the problems I've had with it lately. Now, we talked extensively about that yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about it again, but the bottom line of that is nothing is made to last. Now, this isn't revelation here. We all know this. When we buy new things, we all know that they're going to break down, but what we don't know is when. And it seems that the when comes a lot sooner than it used to. I remember when my parents bought major household appliances, we had those for half a century. Literally. My parents were still had a fridge in their home that they bought in 1957, same year I was born. And that fridge, until about 10 years ago, was still running. Yeah, they were using it as a pop fridge, beer fridge, whatever you want to call it. That was remarkable. Yet in the same period, I don't know how many other refrigerators my parents went through. Because with every new fridge, it seemed the newer appliances lasted less time than the older appliances. Now, why is that? I mean, on major appliances like stoves, fridges, dishwashers, washing machines, dryers, you know, with the exception of a few little computer components that make it do maybe something a little bit more convenient at a press of a button, the basic technology is still the same. Fridges keep things cold, stoves heat things up, dishwashers wash dishes, washing machines and dryers wash and dry clothes. It's not revolutionary technology. So when you think that as basic appliances they would last longer, well, they don't. And we've all got horror stories about buying something, and it always seems to be just after the warranty wears out, doesn't it? Like 2 weeks after the warranty wears out, so does the appliance or whatever you're buying. Well, a lot of this has to do with quality control. And the other thing is, and this is a conspiracy theory, manufacturers are building them so they will do that. So they will break down because they want more money, right? It all comes down to the almighty buck. But we have the technology to make things better. And we have skilled people out there that know how to do that. But why are they not doing it? Beyond the fact, that maybe these companies just want to capitalize on gouging us. A lot of it has to do with pride in workmanship, I think, and in design. There is no quality control. Nobody is standing over the workers and making sure or double checking that their work is good work. Now, a lot of people will blame that on the fact that most of our manufactured goods come from overseas, from China. And it's very easy to blame other people for it. And you hear the cry, especially in the United States, buy American, buy American. Now, I know that that war cry works on several different levels. Like one, it's meant to, if you manufacture something in the States, you're hiring Americans to manufacture it. So, it's good for the economy, it's good for job creation and things like that. And we have made in Canada as well. But the reality is, those things that are made in our own countries are not any better. They really aren't. And most manufacturers will not make in their own country here in North America because it costs too much. They have to pay workers a minimum wage. Whereas over across the sea, not so. They don't have to. You can have people working for you in China, Korea, and other places that are getting paid pittance for the work that Canadian or American workers would definitely be demanding much more for. So, of course, that keeps down their costs. They make more of a profit. But if you don't treat people well, if you don't treat your workers well, if you don't pay them a fair, livable wage, why should they care about what they're doing? They can be sloppy. They don't need to take pride in what they're doing because they're being treated like crap. So they're sticking it back to the man by not really caring about the quality of what they are creating. So, that's how it goes. What can we do about it? Well, we could refuse to buy products from manufacturers that the quality sucks at. Yes, but in the case of major appliances, they're only made by one or two corporations, different names on the appliances, but all of those companies are under the umbrella of a parent company that controls everything. And they don't care. They really don't care. And they know that we need those products. A refrigerator is a necessity. A stove is a necessity. A washer dryer is pretty much a necessity too. Even a dishwasher this day is a necessity. So they know no matter what, we're going to continue to buy their products. So they don't listen to us complain. Make more of the manufacturing done in our own countries and pay our workers, our laborers, a decent livable wage. Maybe, but you know what the manufacturers will say? Well, that means they're going to have to raise the price on our products because they're not going to dip into their bottom line. I mean, they're always making record profits, but they're not going to do anything to jeopardize their bottom line. It's greed. It's simple. It's greed. That's what it is. So that's not a solution. I fight my own little battles by talking about products that I have bought that I've been disappointed in or have had problems with here on my channel. But I'm only one of millions of channels. And other channels do the same thing. Does it have an effect? I don't think so. Won't make me stop doing it. But, it doesn't seem to make a difference. So we're screwed. We're basically screwed. Maybe if our governments got more involved with the business community, maybe if our governments passed laws and had people that were inspecting these companies to make sure they were following those laws, maybe things would be better. But our governments are owned by these businesses, quite frankly. There's lobby groups out there. There's corporations give billions of dollars to political parties and political individuals and the whole bit to support and to protect the interests of the manufacturer, of the businesses, not us. So we're screwed on that front too. So it's very, very discouraging, to say the least. There doesn't seem to be any hope of this changing anytime soon. So I guess what you have to do is sort to protect yourself the best way you can. Do your research when you're buying products. Look at what other people have said about those products. Check out Amazon reviews or other review sites. Yes, there are fake reviews out there too, so you have to be discriminatory about what you read and make an educated decision. Doesn't mean you still won't get a lemon, but maybe you've narrowed the odds of getting screwed by doing something like that. Walter is one of those kind of people who does. Before he buys anything major, he does a lot of research. And that helps. It does actually help. But it takes time. It does take time. But then look at it as part of your investment. If you're spending a lot of bucks on a major piece of equipment or appliance or whatever, or product, maybe you should do a little bit of research. Don't just take what they say in the ads at face value. So yeah, quality control. That's just a suggestion. Okay, so speaking of products and things, I did get a couple of new things this week. Yeah, as I said, I go back to what I said about the Accquilt system and the problems I've had, and I talked about that on So Chatty. I talked about it on Stephen and Walter Live, and I'll probably mention it again tomorrow on Idiot Quilter, but needless to say, this is what I bought. I bought another Accquilt. Yes, once the other one gets fixed, I will have two. The other one being fixed is electric. This one is manual. It's a backup machine. Yes, it costs me some money for this, but it gives me a sense of security because I have a lot of money invested in Accquilt dies. I use them all the time. So for me, this is kind of my battle against for quality, for quality assurance here, because yeah, I have two machines. One goes, I got another one. That's my logic. That may not be yours. And I bought a new design wool. My other one was wearing out, and I got this, and I'm very happy with it. But I'm going to talk more about why I really like this one that I bought tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. Okay, so those are the new things that I bought. What about the grow lights? How are we doing here? Well, things are looking a little sad. Here's grow light number one. Now, this is a new crop of lettuce, so it's been coming on pretty good. Still getting a little bit of brown on some of the leaves. Walter's theory is that maybe they're too close to the lights or whatever, but these are adjustable. But anyways, there's a crop coming. I'm not sure what the heck is in here, in this one that doesn't have anything growing out of it. There might be some stuff. Looks like there's some little green things. It's probably some more lettuce. You can see the little bug problem we have. Time to put in some new sticky things, these little gnats. Yeah, we're still fighting them as well. Maybe I should just open up all the windows today. Let the cold air come in. It's -14 after all. It might freeze the little buggers to death. Yeah, I don't think so, because there's one problem with that. We'd freeze to death too. Here's the other one. This one's very sad. There's still a little bit of lettuce left. Gotta talk to Walter about what we're planting in here. The basil does, or basil, however you want to say it, does really well though. We eat a lot of basil, and we put it in salads and things like that too. So yeah, quite a bit there. So maybe I should be. I wonder how it would freeze. I mean, it would wilt, but if you're going to cook with it, it probably wouldn't hurt if it's frozen. Have to think about that. One thing I do like about basil plants, growing them, they do grow very fast, and they seem to love the grow lights. And they're nice and leafy and green. They look nice. So, yeah. here's the jungle. Grow lights number 3. Okay. Those tomato plants, now there are some, I didn't quite get it. There's something sticking here in my picture. I didn't realize when I took the picture. But there are some flowers if you look carefully on some of the tomato plants, so that's a good sign. Now, the reason they're all droopy like that is because this particular variety of tomatoes, I guess, are meant to be in hanging pots, so they droop. So I think we're going to have to figure out a way to stake them up, because I don't think that's really good having them all droop over there. The onions, oh my God, those onions are just doing really, really well. We do eat the greens on them. Again, this is something I think we need to, I don't know how much bigger they're going to get, but they're just going nuts. And I see down here in the bottom right-hand corner, Walter's got something here. Those might be peppers. I think they're peppers that he's got started there as well. We actually had to buy some green peppers from the grocery store because we are out of peppers. Now, peppers we harvested in the summer, we had quite a few of them, and we sliced them all up and put them in little baggies and put them in the freezer, and they're great for cooking. We just take out what we need, and Walter put them in little sort of like single-serving packets, in a sense, and we just take them out, chop them up, throw them in when you're making spaghetti sauce or anything else you want to put green peppers in. That works really well. But I do like to have fresh peppers, too, for salads and things like that. So, but they take about 80 days before you get, full-size peppers. So that's like 3 months. Yeah. So we're not going to have fresh peppers for a while. In fact, might as well get them started now so we can transplant them out in the garden in the late spring or whatever. So yeah, that's how things are growing here in our little garden. Yeah. Okay, grow light stuff. Yeah, I've been making grow light stuff. 3D printer stuff. That's what I mean. See, I told you, memory. Oh, God. Here's some things. These are my latest creations. I'm making a bunch of these. I am getting ready for the retreat in Georgia in December. Yes, this is January, but these take a while to make. What are these? These are customized, because they got gnomes on them, ruler racks. And a holder for your rotary cutter or whatever you want to put in there. I did give one of these to Stephanie and to Shannon and to Russ when we're down at the retreat. And I thought, well, this might be something for this coming retreat in December. Again, for other people, too. So start them now because it takes about 2.5 days for one of these to print. These are pattern holders. They have little gnomes on the side as well. They're based on the design of a magazine holder, but they will fit patterns, and you can put them on your, your desk near your sewing machine, whatever. And I'm making a bunch of those. They don't take quite as long. They only take about 1.5 days to print each one. So that's why I've started these things now. The other thing, too, is there'll be more things I'll make. I'm thinking about printing maybe some templates, basic templates that will fit in this ruler rack as well. Where'd that come from? Get out of my way. Yeah, go away. So I'm planning for Georgia, even though it's 11.5 months away. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I've been up to. All right, let us go over to Blast from the Past. Okay, so this is Victor Harbor in Australia from our trip on February the 14th. It was Valentine's Day, 2018, and this is part 1 of that adventure.
So we're on the road again, however that song goes. So we just left Panola, and we're heading towards, which is a long drive today, to Victor Harbor. And Walter started the day off very well because he started off in the wrong direction and also on the wrong side of the road. But we seem to have that all settled out now. So we're off to Victor Harbor, and that's how many kilometers?
400, about 400.
About 400 kilometers. So it's going to be a long drive. Right now it's 8:14 in the morning. and it's nice and clear. Last night, about 4 o'clock this morning, I woke up to this sound like hurricane winds. I don't think they were hurricanes. It's just how the winds sound here. Some rain with it. A tree outside was banging on the roof of our hotel, which the roofs here are all seem to be made of metal. And Walter says they probably don't have much insulation either, so you hear everything. And you could sound like a real storm, but yeah, it's nice and clear now.
All the wineries.
Oh, we're passing the wineries over here. You can see the vineyards. This is wine country, one of many wine countries I think they have in Australia. That's the Blarney Block, according to the sign. And more over here on the other side of the road as well. So I know a few of you have been commenting on my pronunciation or my mispronunciation of place names. Yeah, okay, I know I don't do it very well, but you know, thank you to the Aussies who have tried to spell it out for me phonetically so I can figure out how to say it. But I would just put this out there to the Aussies. Then how do you say Mississauga? Or how do you say Oshawa? Let's go for that, shall we? No, I'm just kidding. Don't worry, I don't take offense to that. I know I'm mispronouncing the names of the places. I mispronounce the names of the places where I live, too. So that's nothing new for me. Kind of ironic. I was an English teacher. Oh, well. And you were saying?
Well, Victor Harbor. Harbor is spelled B-O-R, which we would say is an American spelling. But in British or Canadian English, it would be B-O-U-R, right? But I read somewhere, and I don't recall exactly where, but there's something that it was established and they made a misspelling in the name, and it just sort of stuck.
Oh. Yeah, that's their story and they're sticking to it. Okay. But anyways, there's a few little droplets here of stuff on the windshield, which I'm getting in the picture, but can't do much about that. And with the number of trucks that we heard going down this road last night, big trucks, I'm suspecting we will see some roadkill again today. So, always something to look forward to in Australia. A little bit more of the roadside scenery. We're past the vineyards now. Just some interesting trees. A little different from what we're used to seeing in North America. See the kangaroos? No, none of the kangaroos are down there. But no roadkill yet. Okay, sheep. Must be in sheep country right now because there seems to be a lot of sheep here and there. Now, of course, just as soon as I put up the camera to get them on video, I don't see any sheep now because the trees are hiding the sheep. Can't see the sheeps for the forest. Babas out there, no babas out there, no babas out there. Okay, no babas. Okay, we're coming up a whole bunch of sheep here. See them? There they are. There's all the babas. The little woolly creatures. Okay, like who hasn't seen sheep? But have you ever seen Australian sheep? That's the point. And Walter has a question. Your question is?
Where do you get virgin wool from?
Ugly sheep. Reminds me of that Far Side comment where the wolves are at a party. And one wolf has a sheep by its hind legs and his head buried in a big pot of like chip dip. And the one wolf says to the other wolf, well, I'm sold. You've got to try Gladys's sheep dip. Had to be there. And this is a little place that I'll probably mess the name up on called Accquilt Yeah, someone will have to correct me on that one because I'm sure I probably haven't got it
In
right.
700 meters, turn left on Deviation Road.
And our little girlfriend here, she wants us to turn left on Deviation Road, whatever that is. But according to our maps, that's not what we need to do. So
400 meters.
we'll see what's coming up here with it. So this is what this little town looks like. Well, I'm calling it a little town. I'm not sure how little it is.
This is A66 turn.
Oh, well, follow the Deviation Road. I'll bet you what it is a bypass of the town.
Yeah.
Because that's
Turn
where we
left
want
on
to go.
Deviation Road.
A66.
Yeah. And going to Keith, and that's what we're supposed to do. So yeah, I'll bet you it's a little.
In 1 kilometer, enter the roundabout.
Oh, very good. The wipers didn't go off when you put on the signal. Oh, third day. Maybe finally getting the hang of that. So yeah, it must be a road that kind of bypasses the town.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
So let's experience a roundabout. They've got a lot of them over here. We're coming up to 500 meters. So there's the sign there that shows you that you're hitting a roundabout. And we're supposed to take the second exit.
At the roundabout, take the second exit to Stewart Terrace.
Big truck.
What's this guy doing?
I don't know. Well, that guy didn't know where they wanted to go, I guess. So one exit, second exit. Isn't that thrilling? That's a roundabout. Some more of the road, the trees. Sorry, is this a vineyard? Yep, looks like it. Like these are huge. They go for miles in behind. Maybe a better shot over here. Get an idea of it. But they just keep going from back of the road like for miles and miles and miles. They make it like the vineyards in Ontario look like little
Dinky
garden,
things.
like little home garden patches. And yet, we can't get that many different Australian wines in Ontario.
No, I know, but still, the fact, I guess, that you get some is that these vineyards are so huge that they produce tons and tons and tons of grapes.
Which the wine industry in Australia is a relatively new industry when it comes to winemaking, because they were always known for beer, as being beer drinkers. But now it
You
looks
see
like
down the roads there, how big they are.
they're huge. Okay, so all these ones that are so huge that we've been driving by for a while, they're actually Lindemans, which of course we can get Lindemans in
And it's cheap.
and it's cheap. Yeah, like it's not a bad price. It's cheaper than Ontario wines. We've been
That's
drinking.
probably why.
We've been drinking more Lindemans lately than anything else. That and Jacobs Creek. But Jacobs Creek's a little more expensive, and we're not in Jacobs Creek country. Okay, you might want to stay on the road.
I am on the road.
I'll do the watching, you do the driving. Once again, that little white line over here is not good to cross. Especially because it's my side of the car. And this is some little sleepy town of something. I don't know how to say it. Kunal Pin? No idea how to say it. And that was it.
So that takes me to events in the past week. I've already mentioned that we had the Sewcial review. That's what we call it. Already talked about the 4S Club final video. Yeah, I got news that they have scheduled my colonoscopy for January the 30th. They haven't given me a time yet, but they've already given me the prescription, and I've picked it up for both the liquid and the pills. They're going to make sure that everything comes out okay, I guess. And yeah, so I'm not looking forward to that. And we had Stephanie and Shannon's virtual retreat. We'll talk more about that on Idiot Quilter, but it was a great time. We had 2 great projects. I learned how to do foundation paper piecing, and that I have discovered that I really don't like foundation paper piecing. Nothing against Shannon, just me, but more about that tomorrow. And of course, Stephanie had a pattern as well, and her patterns are always wonderful. So again, I will show you what I made and what I'm going to do with these things and talk more about the retreat because it was fantastic. And update on my subscription base. You know that I have been shooting for 10,000 subscribers, and in the last week, wow, I got a lot of new subscribers, to the point that right now, as I'm saying this, I'm at 9,962 subscribers. I'm only 38 subscribers away from 10,000. And I have said that when I hit 10,000, I'm going to do something special, and I still don't know what that is. But it'll be something special. So I'm hoping that by the end of this month, I will have over 10,000. I don't know. We'll see. So if you watch me on a regular basis, and you haven't hit subscribe, please do. Yeah, please do. Okay, so just a last minute reminder, Pop-Up Sew Day this coming Saturday. Hope to see many of you there. Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen Wednesday. Lots of things happening. We're a full entertainment full entertainment package here. Okay, that's enough for me today. Thanks for joining me. Tune in to Idiot Quilter tomorrow and So Chatty near the end of the week. And then, of course, Stephen and Walter Live on Sunday. See you later. Have a great week. Bye for now.